What's going on, everybody? So we are at Sinking Creek Ranch, getting ready to head out. We finally got a break in the rain, and we are going out to put up new cell cameras from Wi-Fi and to drop some of that trophy rock in the ground. Look, we've been putting out these minerals since February, but we have some new spots that we want to get to. So let's go get these things out and take a good inventory on what the antler stage is for these bucks and see what we got for this year. We're gonna start now and go all the way through until the bitter end, the first week of January. That's where we'll be. Let's go. First things first, we gotta get that trophy rock, put it out, or get it in the bed of the side-by-side here. Y'all, this side-by-side of mine, it's a Honda Pioneer. I have beat the fire out of this thing, and it does a fantastic job. Even though it has been through the ringer, it still works all the time and does a great job. So, but let's jump out real quick, grab some of this mineral and get it put in the buggy and take it to its final destination. I don't know if y'all could see that or not, but we have two brand new trees that have fallen, so it looks like we're going on an off-road adventure through the woods. I think that's what we're gonna have to do, boys and girls. Here we go. This is why this Honda is what I consider a little abused, is because I have really beat this thing to tarnation. Y'all, I don't know if I'm gonna get through here or not. I don't think I am. Let's back it up. Hang on, we might gotta put her in four-wheel dig here in just a minute. Shoot, fire. There we go. Now we got her on. Whoa! That was a big old washout. Good night. Maybe I won't flip her. Whoa, baby. Whoa, baby. Y'all, we just about had ourselves a little situation there. I didn't realize that washout was that deep, but hey, we did it. Here we go. We're going up a different trail. So I hadn't ever put minerals back here before, but I guess there's a first for everything, so let's do it. All right, y'all, we made it to the spot that we call the Whiskey Ridge, and we're gonna redo this mineral site right there and get this camera set up with a solar panel so I don't have to come back and check it for batteries, none of that. It just works all the time because we are way back here on top of the mountain, and I like to make sure all my stuff is running full time all the time. So we definitely got to get this ready to roll, because last year there was a bunch of deer that came through here, a bunch of big bucks. So you know, I just want to see what's happening. And if you look, there's a big oak tree right here, big oak tree right there. There's several oaks scattered out across this ridge right here, and that's one of the main reasons that I love this for early archery season, is because of how much food is available to these white-tailed deer aside from the food plots that we have down in the bottom. With that being said, there is some projects in place to add some food plots up top here. But for right now, we're gonna worry about their native food source, which is acorns. So one of the things that I really like to do before I ever put the minerals on the ground is to kick back all the leaves, get it to bare raw soil, so that way it's not all jumbled up. It can go right into the soil and it's more readily available for these deer instead of them having to pilfer through a bunch of leaves and stuff like that. So let's clear out this spot. All right, now that we have the spot cleared out, let's dive in, grab this bag. So this is from Trophy Rock. We absolutely love the minerals from Trophy Rock. They're phenomenal, and our deer really like them a lot. And you know, it's just really good to do this time of the year because you have these mamas that have babies on the way, and they'll be needing to produce milk really soon. So get your mineral spots out and put the antler on them big bucks too. Guys, when I reactivate a site each year, I like to put a whole bag. This is a 30-pound bag, so I like to use the whole thing to start off with. And depending on how it goes, I will re-up that every month or so. But let's look at the analysis in this bag of Trophy Rock. You have calcium, phosphorus, salt, sodium, magnesium, potassium, sulfur, iron, manganese, zinc, copper, iodine. All these are crucial as micro elements for these deer to thrive. So listen, it's very important to do this, and I like to do one per every 100 acres. That's what we like to do here. So the next step in this process is to put up the cell cam with the solar panel, but first I need to go in here and open up a spot to put this camera on the tree so it is not interrupted by any kind of branches moving in front of it with the wind or whatever. So let's dive in. Usually I have a chainsaw or something like that, but today, the handy dandy machete. Let's go. Y'all, this machete is dull. So the camera of choice for me right here is the WiseEye DC2. Y'all, this thing works where no other camera will. You can have 0 cell service on your phone, and this guy works. If you don't believe me, come on down to the ranch and I'll show you how well this camera works in the worst cell reception areas ever. Let's get this bad boy put up and put a solar panel on. So the rule of thumb here, I like to put my cameras about waist high. I know they say on the website to do different, but this is what I like. Works best for me. But you want to get this baby cinched on there real good and tight. And then make sure, one thing to do, take a step back and squat down and make sure that your camera is looking at the right spot. If you don't do that, you may not have very good success. You want that lens of that camera to be about eye level when you squat down like this and look at it. So let's see what we got right here. That's about right. All right, now before we turn this thing on, we're gonna put the solar panel on it just to be sure that that thing. All right, y'all, so the key to this solar panel is to make sure that it has a good supply of sunlight, or a decent supply of sunlight for most of the day. Now it's gonna capture light a lot, so you don't really have to think too far about it, because it's gonna capture that sunlight, and you just wanna make sure that it's in the best possible spot to capture the most sunlight. So right now we've got it facing right where that sun is coming through, and then we're going to just simply connect it to our camera with this little wire right here. You know, a good rule of thumb also is to wrap this cable around, so that way them old rascally critters can't mess it up for you. Oh no, I can't find the dead burn plug. Where's the daggone plug for this thing? The next step, now that we've got the camera connected to the solar panel, we have the camera facing the direction we want it to face, we're going to turn it on, go through the menu, format the SD card, and turn this baby on and let it rip. We're going to get out of here, go to the next spot across the road, and see what we can't do over there. All right, guys, so before you leave, before you close everything up, make sure that you send a photo to your app, the Wiza app, to make sure that everything is functioning properly. Close the camera up and roll on to the next one. Y'all, sometimes you just gotta redneck it and make your own trail, because the trail you have is completely washed out, massive ruts. So yeah, we are making our own trail around this road to get to the top of the ridge. So let's see what happens. And we made it. Yeehaw. The old girl didn't like it though. You remember how I said that I treated this thing pretty rough? Well, it did not like that hill. I need to get this baby to a shop, get her serviced and tuned up, all that good jazz. All right, y'all, we've made it to our next spot. Now, this one's a little bit different. So we tried to plant a food plot here last year, but we just did the old throw and grow method and it did not work. So we're gonna fix that trail, get the tractor up here, turn the ground, and then bring that old grain drill up here. Oh yeah, get that clover in the dirt, baby. But anyway, this right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that is the mineral site that we are working off of right now. We're gonna add another camera up here, and I really like this spot because it is a solid oak flat. Everywhere you look, there's oak trees all across this flat. And there's a lot of deer, a lot of turkey that use this. In fact, last year when I added the minerals to this spot, this hole was dug within a couple months, about ankle or calf deep, if you will. But I mean, this spot is just awesome. I want y'all to look at this. Look at this right here. See that? So I'm gonna put a food plot in here, and what I'm eventually gonna do is I'm gonna plant the road coming in and down just a little bit, and then plant this open area right here in clover, just so that way I can give those deer some more nutrition up here in the woods to help them survive the hardest parts of the winter, post rut and everything else. When we get the most of our snow, January, February, we're not even hunting then. But if we have some food up here, it'll help them make it through those hard times. All right, so we have this next site put up. We have the camera here, and then the minerals there. Before long, this is gonna be a food plot. It's gonna be awesome, full of nutrition for these whitetail. And that ends our fun today in the woods at Sinking Creek Ranch. As always, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you get a notification. Watch all these videos. It makes me happy. I love making stuff, and it makes me feel proud when you guys like what I make. So catch y'all next time.